everyone, and welcome back to Anne's Family Recipe. Today, in honor of Mother's Day this weekend, I am making a fabulous strawberry shortcake cobbler. This cobbler recipe is so wonderful. It's not a cakey cobbler, it's actually the cooked fruit and then an incredible biscuit topping, which is why I feel like it resembles strawberry shortcake. And to go on top of it, we're also making fresh whipped cream. So let me tell you how I make it. For this recipe, I'm starting with 3 pounds of beautiful strawberries. And I find in my area that the best price on strawberries is at Aldi grocery stores. So that's just a little tip. If you have an Aldi near you, definitely check them out for their produce because they have great prices. So I have my berries in a colander in the sink. I'm gonna give them a quick rinse, dry them off, and then for the larger ones, I'll probably quarter them, and then some of the smaller berries, I'll cut them in half. I just have to mention that as I'm dicing up all these strawberries, it smells so good. This recipe uses a 13 by 9 inch glass baking dish, and I'm going to spray it with some baking spray just so that nothing sticks. To my strawberries, I'm adding a 1/4 cup of granulated white sugar and then 2 tablespoons of all-purpose flour. So as the strawberries bake, this will help sweeten them and then thicken up the juices too. And then I'll just stir this all together until all of the berries are evenly coated in the flour and sugar. Now I'm going to add my strawberries into my greased baking dish and then cover them with foil, and these will bake at 400 degrees for about 20 minutes. While my strawberries bake in the oven, I'm going to prepare the biscuit topping. So that starts with the dry ingredients. In this bowl, I have 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour. So you can kind of whisk that to break everything up. And then I'm going to add kind of my secret ingredient, which is 1/2 cup of cornmeal. And this adds a nice texture to the biscuits and also kind of a unique flavor too. I really love this. And then over here, I have 2 teaspoons of baking powder, 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda, and 1/2 teaspoon of salt. So I'm gonna sprinkle that in, and then we'll whisk all of this together. Next, I'm adding 1 stick of unsalted butter that I cut up into small cubes. And now I'm going to use my hands to incorporate the butter into the flour mixture, and it should turn into kind of pea-sized crumbles, and when you squish it together with your fingers, it should hold together. So you can see here that when I squeeze the mixture together with my hand, it sort of stays together. That's how you know the butter is evenly incorporated into your flour mixture. So this is going back into the fridge until the strawberries come out of the oven. And then we'll add in some heavy cream and it'll form our biscuit dough. But you want it to be super cold because when that cold butter hits the hot air of the oven, it creates steam and then you have nice fluffy biscuits. So these are the strawberries so far after baking for 20 minutes at 400 degrees. They smell incredible and they're starting to break down a little bit and get juicy. So now I'm going to finish up my biscuit topping and then dollop it all over the top. To finish off my biscuit dough, I'm adding 1 1/4 cup of cold heavy cream. And then I'll incorporate that using a fork because you just want to do it very gently. If you use a whisk, it would be a total mess. But this just kind of gets the heavy cream into the flour and creates our biscuit dough. So now I'm just gonna spoon like 1 to 2 tablespoons worth of dough evenly all over the surface of my strawberries. My final step before this goes back into the oven is to sprinkle this with a little bit more of granulated sugar. So it's gonna make the tops a little bit sweet and add a little crunch to our biscuit dough. Okay, so this is going back in the oven, still at 400 degrees for another 20 to 25 minutes until the biscuits are fluffy and golden brown. While my strawberry shortcake cobbler bakes, I'm going to make some fresh whipped cream to put over top. So this will just be 1 cup of heavy whipping cream, 1 to 2 tablespoons of sugar. You can adjust that depending on how sweet you'd like it. I'm using granulated sugar. If you have powdered sugar, that would work even better because it just incorporates a little bit better. And then I'll also add a splash of vanilla extract. And then I'll whisk this all together with my electric hand mixer until it's pretty thick. So my strawberry shortcake cobbler baked for 20 more minutes at 400 degrees, and you can see the tops of the biscuits are golden brown, and there's that nice sugary crust on top, and it smells so wonderful, just like fresh strawberries. You definitely want to allow this to cool for a few minutes because the strawberries are basically boiling at this point, but once it cools down, I'm going to try a little bit out with my freshly made whipped cream. The strawberry shortcake cobbler is phenomenal. You are absolutely gonna love it. If you can double my recipe, you might want to. Full disclosure, I'm filming this little introduction outro for my video the day after I made the cobbler. There is 1 serving left. I sent like 1/3 of it with my husband to work to share with his coworkers. I had 2 bowls yesterday and then a bowl for breakfast. He had 2 bowls yesterday. Our contractor who's working here had a big bowl. Some of my kids had some. It went fast, but that's because it is amazing. The thing I love about this recipe is that it's not overly sweet. I think it'd be perfect for Mother's Day brunch because it's kind of that cross between a breakfast and dessert item. You've got those warm, soft strawberries in their juices that have thickened up nicely, and then it's topped with these slightly crunchy but also really fluffy inside biscuits with that little sugary coating on top. I love it. I wanted to let you know too that I'm linking a bunch of other breakfast brunchy kind of recipes that I've made here before on my channel in my description box below, so you have a whole variety of recipes to look through. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, follow me on Instagram at Ann's Family Recipe, and give this video a thumbs up if you liked my strawberry shortcake cobbler recipe today. That was a mouthful, but a delicious mouthful. Happy Mother's Day, Mom. I love you. Happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there, and I'll see you again soon.